New year, new me. I'm kidding. It's an old me. Can mathematics solve more than just complex, abstract problems and catch a killer after 51 years? This is a story about hidden letters of infamous Zodiac killer and his coded messages that he was leaving behind, a power of mathematics and development of technology, but also involves devoted cybercrackers, community efforts, and one warehouse worker. How three guys from three different corners of the world cooperated to solve this seemingly unsolvable mystery, bringing decades of speculation, guessing game and conspiracy theories to the end where even FBI needed to be involved to confirm the win. My name is Vladislav Radek, I'm writer and mathematician, and this is Fabric of Life, a show where we try to fuse art and science to answer humanity's most difficult questions. But tonight's question is a little bit different. Can mathematics catch a serial killer? Let me take you on an adventure. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Every week I'm taking you a new and amazing adventure, and while you're watching this show, I'm somewhere around the world in search for the world's most beautiful bookstore to explain why bookstores are now more important than ever. After that, we're heading to Spain to see how one artist continued creating even after his death. In this show, we concluded that mathematics can elaborate the beauty of the art, make movies a little bit more interesting, and how our brain plays tricks on us. But can mathematics solve crimes and bring one of the biggest mysteries to its end? In the late 1960s, a serial killer self-identifying as the Zodiac killed at least 5 people in Northern California and claimed to have murdered more. The case has been described as the most famous unsolved murder case in American history, becoming a fixture of popular culture and inspiring amateur detectives in an attempt to resolve it. But mathematicians love puzzles, and this mystery indeed has some.
Today there was a possibly significant development in the terrifying case of the man who calls himself Zodiac and has boasted that he is responsible for 5 murders in the last 9 months. In Zodiac's latest letter last week, he threatened to make a busload of school children his next victims.
The Zodiac sent 4 coded messages in total to San Francisco Chronicle in 1969 and 1970. The first had 408 characters and it was cracked in a week. In November 1969, the Zodiac killer sent a new card to the paper containing 340 character secret message that for more than 50 years went unsolved by detectives, cryptography experts, amateur detectives, and curious others. Until recently, but this story got its new chapter in 2018 in Roanoke, Virginia. David Oranchak is a computer programmer with a background in cryptography. He spent years fielding theories from misguided wannabe detectives about the meaning of the 340-character code and the identity of its author. He said in one interview that so many people conjure coincidences out of thin air, and the more coincidences they generate, the stronger their evidence. Although the codebreakers involved had each been working on a cipher for years, the successful joint effort began in 2018 when Orchak delivered a talk about cipher at the annual meeting of the American Cryptogram Association in Asheville, Northern California. He posted the talk on YouTube where, predictably, it prompted hundreds of comments, many of which came from the people who, of course, incorrectly claimed they'll already solved it. But one guy in comments stood out. His name, Sam Blake. His occupation, an applied mathematician of University of Melbourne. He responded to Oranchak's talk with mathematical ideas about how to approach a cipher that includes both homophonic substitution, in which one letter might be swapped for more than one symbol, and transposition, in which letters are reordered in symmetric way. And now I will give you a quick cryptography tutorial. The homophonic substitution cipher involves replacing each letter with a variety of substitutes, a number of potential substitutes being proportional to the frequency of the letter. For example, the letter A accounts for roughly 8% of all letters in English, so we assign 8 symbols to represent it. Each time an A appears in the plain text, it is replaced by one of the 8 symbols chosen at random, so by the end of the encyclement, each symbol constitutes roughly 1% of the cipher text. The letter B accounts for 2% of all letters, and so we assign 2 symbols to represent it. Each time B appears in a plain text, either of those 2 symbols can be chosen. So each symbol will also constitute roughly 1% of the ciphertext. This process continues throughout the alphabet until we get to the Z, which is so rare that it has only one substitute. In transposition ciphers, the letters of the message are simply rearranged, effectively generating an anagram. Now back to our 2 protagonists who will get help from the other side of the world. Orenchak and Blake began corresponding and eventually generated hundreds of thousands of possible ways to read the code. To make sense of those, Orenchak brought in Jarl van Eyck, a Belgian warehouse worker and codebreaker who'd written AZ Decrypt, software used for decoding homophonic substitutions. Van Eyck used an updated version of his software to churn through possibilities. In late November and early December 2020, while you were scrolling through senseless TikTok videos, a trio recycled their previous results, this time looking for words and phrasing characteristics of other writings by Zodiac. And they struck gold. Van Eyck's software spit out 2 phrases: "trying to catch me" and "the gas chamber." They fixed those phrases in the software, ran it again, and more words like paradise and slaves began to appear. Finally, in early December, they had the message in total. Notably, the message included "that wasn't me" on the TV show, referencing a call-in news show that had just aired before Chronicle received a cipher in 1969. Orenchak sent their solution to contacts at the FBI, and by the end of 2020, the FBI verified the methodology and results and even tweeted about it. In March 2021, Blake wrote about how he used Mathematica, a math software package, for this part, and in January, Van Eyck made headlines again when he cracked an unsolved 386-year-old code composed by a Dutch scientist. Now, all 3 of them agreed that advancements in technology helped them crack the unsolvable code. Mathematica, software that they use, I also use every day for my own mathematical research, and I can admit it's getting better day by day, but especially in the last couple of years with advancements in computational power, better processors, obviously more RAM that we can employ, and overall better computational times. Although Zodiac cipher is constructed with pen and paper, it could never be broken without the combination of new mathematical advancements and technology. The identity of Zodiac Killer is still unknown, but scientific community, collaborative effort, and technological advancements give us hope that no crimes will remain a mystery. Will we live in Minority Report society then in the future? Well, you need to subscribe to find out more. Hey, Vladislav Radak here. If you're interested in this topic and you want to find out more, David Orenchak has an amazing YouTube channel that I'm going to link down below, where you can see his methodology, and I love his explanations. He's a really talented educator as well. See you next week for the next episode. Until then, stay tuned and curious, and don't forget, libraries still exist.